Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, a good example to determine how far back the Nigerian nation has regressed is to compare the last two regimes. So we're talking Goodluck Jonathan and we're talking Malam Buhari. So now under Goodluck Jonathan, Nigeria enjoyed what was as far as the African nation's third world country is concerned, Nigeria enjoyed what was near perfect freedom of speech. You could say anything about the president and the presidency, and the worst that would happen would that they would argue back and say that no, you are wrong, this is what we did. That was what we had under Goodluck Jonathan's regime. So now under Malam Buhari's regime, not only can you not say anything critical about the regime, if you do not wake up in the morning and immediately as part of your morning prayers say the words that Malam Buhari is the greatest leader ever and the greatest human being on the planet, if you do not say that, the DSS Yusuf Bichi will be sent after you to come and waylay your life. Guys, I bring you this. Aisha Buhari attacks Daily Trust artist Baluma over cartoon on daughter's lavish wedding. So this is now where we have degenerated to within the Nigerian space, and I do find myself saying that in virtually every video now, that this is now where we have degenerated to within the Nigerian space, but then they always find a new low that makes it necessary for me to repeat that phrase. So again, the headline: Aisha Buhari attacks Daily Trust artist Baluma over cartoon on daughter's lavish wedding. So now let's now see how this played out. Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari has attacked a Daily Trust employee, Baluma Mustafa, over a cartoon on the lavish wedding of her daughter, Hanan. The elaborate wedding ceremony held last Friday at a time many Nigerians were complaining of the hardship as a result of President Muhammadu Buhari's government's harsh economic policies. On Sunday, Daily Trust published a cartoon showing the president's wife holding pictures of the wedding on her hands and displaying them in the faces of Nigerians struggling to find their balance in life. The cartoon drew inspiration from Aisha's several posts on Instagram where she displayed pictures of Hanan'S wedding. In reaction to the cartoon, Mrs. Buhari said children of Nigerian leaders had the right to get married whether they were performing or not. Aisha spokesperson Aliyu Abdullahi told BBC Pidgin that Hanan'S wedding was a low-key ceremony. The cartoon of Mustafa Baluma trending is very unfair because the wedding wasn't in any way insensitive to what Nigerians are going through. In fact, because of that, Mrs. Buhari held a meeting with her staff and told us that she wants the wedding to be low-key with no massive celebration. The photo she posted of the couple for social media was to thank all well-wishers and not to rub it on Nigerian faces. Supporters of President Buhari had earlier described Daily Trust as a toilet paper over the cartoon. This has further proved that your publication is a toilet paper and should be trashed in the bottom of the pit of hell. Shame on you, one of them said. Another supporter of Buhari, Abdul Ishaka, said, "Dear Daily Trust toilet paper, what is really the meaning of this disgusting cartoon? This is pure evil and hate-mongering. Aisha Buhari and her family did a very quiet wedding for their child, and you have a place in your dark heart to mock them." So this is now the response that Buhari supporters, and by the way, a lot of these so-called Buhari supporters, you have to understand that they are sponsored comments. These are people that just been paid to make these comments oftentimes. I'm not saying in this instance, but generally this is the perceived wisdom within the Nigerian space, is rent a mob, rent a crowd and rent a quotation, rent a columnist, and rent anything, etc., just to promote your own perspective. But then, of course, this wedding, there was never a chance. There was never a chance that it was never going to be criticized, because Nigerians resent this Malam Buhari. They've always hated him. They never wanted him. He was foisted on the Nigerian space by Tinubu in the first instance, and he rigged himself back in. And the reasons why Nigerians have always hated him have been playing out since this guy came into power, just riding roughshod over the lives of 200 odd million people, and just treating the whole people of the nations as a trash, as a servant. Of course, is an ethnic jingoist, a religious bigot. He suffers from an arrogance of ignorance, and that arrogance of ignorance really is what you find most with people like Malam Buhari. People who know nothing, which is not a bad thing, because of course not everybody would know, but if you know nothing, but then you think you know it all, then you're a problem. And if you have some potency, then you would end up as Malam Buhari has ended up now. And whoever is subject to your potency will suffer a very harsh and brutal time, which is what Nigeria is going through now. So the arrogance of ignorance and the cluelessness, the bigotry, the ethnic agenda, and the religion, also they just hate Malam Buhari. I think we all know that. So anything that he does, even if he finds the cure to cancer, people would not buy it, and they will lambast him for it. For them now to be having this, they are saying it's low key, but then you go to Dubai to go and buy a wedding all the way from Dubai, and import a wedding from Dubai to come and play out in Aso Rock for your daughter. She wants to be like an Arabian princess, to do an Arabian princess themed wedding, but of Nigerian money for your daughter. So that's already offensive. And then we see them spraying dollars and spraying, I'm not sure if it was dollars, but we certainly saw them spraying money, which is against Nigerian laws. And this is something that has been highlighted recently. And this again is yet another example of these people riding roughshod over the laws of the country. So the laws are there, but then they place themselves above it, because of course there is nobody to call them to account. Who can call them to account? The Minister of Justice, he can't call them to account. The police chief is their errand boy. Everybody in the government, they've just packed the whole place with their tribesmen who have loyalty to them and their errand boys, and this is just them placing themselves above the law. And this Hanan'S Buhari especially, a lot of Nigerians resent her as well. One, because of how she treated that man from Delta, Anthony Okolie, just for the guy being allocated a mobile number that she had abandoned and the telecoms company had recycled to give this guy. So they resent her for that, and then they also resent the way that she uses the presidential fleet as her own personal Uber service to fly around the country and lord it over the entirety of the nation. So there was never a chance that this was never going to be criticized. And you have to be thick-skinned enough to take the criticism, because of course we all saw what Goodluck Jonathan went through, and he never sent anybody to go and arrest anybody for having an opinion that was critical of him. But then of course, with the Malam Buhari, it's like Kim Jong-un of North Korea or something. If you don't go their leader every single day, then you have broken the law and you're subject to arrest. So this is the system now, and it is a high time now that this Aisha Buhari understands that they are hated figures within the Nigerian space, and we're looking for a way to get them out of our lives. So her now saying she's having some wedding and posting photos because she wants to be part of society. She cannot be part of society, because the Yoruba people define society within the Nigerian space, because of course the media is led by the Yorubas, and people of course get their news from the media. So she cannot be part of society is what we're saying. Conversations in the comment section, the abuse of power, it seems to be in the DNA of these people. What says you? Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come tell me then what you're making of the way these people are riding roughshod over Nigerians and lording it over us. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.